What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched the first two episodes of Kaiju number 8, and we will be talking full spoilers ahead. So hopefully you've watched these episodes, both of them. They're both out. Watch them, and we'll do a real quick recap. I am recapping two episodes, so we're going to go to the major beats. We'll talk about details. If we miss something, let us know in the comments. So basically, we're introduced to this world where people live in a modern time, but Kaiju exist, and we are shown right in the beginning pretty much how these things go. Kaiju shows up. The third division, I think they're called, get called in to this area, and they seem pretty efficient at killing things. They come in, they just destroy this Kaiju after it destroys some buildings, so a good trade-off, I guess. And yeah, they leave, but we get to see something that we don't really see in a lot of monster movies and monster things in general. What happens after the Kaiju is defeated? There's a cleanup crew, and it takes a while to clean them up. There's a whole process, and yeah, whole teams that do it. We're introduced to the character Kafka, who seems to be the main character, and he's part of one of these cleaning crew that clean these Kaiju. He is seemingly dedicated, as we see multiple times. He'll do some of the dirty work that people don't want to do. Concepts I've never really thought about in terms of what it would go into cleaning up a Kaiju, including cleaning their intestines, which is pretty gross. And yeah, they get a new dude in their team, Tachikawa, who ends up helping out with that. They get a little buddy, him and Kafka, kind of, as he kind of shows him the ropes. And yeah, we get some background too on Kafka. He and I think her name's Mina seemingly went through something as children, and they decided they wanted to be what is it called? Japan Defense Force people. They want to be the coolest ones, and it seems like Mina has done that. She's part of the 3rd Division with a pretty cool tiger, and she seems really efficient at killing Kaiju. And Kafka didn't make it to that point, and he regrets it. And it comes into play within the 2 episodes of him basically finding out that he can reapply. I think the cutoff was, what, 32?
They upped it because they weren't getting enough applicants.
Yeah, there's not enough young people. So, yeah, this is something that he's thinking about. Tachikawa's pushing him on and all of that. So during a time where they are cleaning up the Kaiju, they get attacked by another Kaiju, a smaller one, but like a spider type thing. And, he tells Tachikawa to run. You got to survive if you want to be in the defense force. Basically, live now so you can fight later. He ends up running away, and then Kafka gets chased. He tries to defend himself. He decides he's going to fight back, but obviously he's no match for a giant monster. The monster breaks his leg. Tachikawa comes back, hits the monster, and they end up getting saved by the 3rd Division that comes in and kills everything. And yeah, while in the hospital recovering from that, Kafka gets another Kaiju shows up and just goes right into his mouth. We have no info on this yet, as people who have not read the manga. If you have, I assume this comes from a manga.
I assume so as well.
If you have, please no spoilers. And yeah, he turns into a Kaiju himself, which is basically like a Kashurin-esque like Kaiju suit. It looks like he's wearing, but his face is wild because it's like a skull. Funny thing happens where an old guy walks by while him and Tachikawa are trying to figure out what the hell just happened to him. He seems to still be himself, just looks like a Kaiju, and we find out soon enough he's very strong. But the old guy, very quick on his phone, pulls the thing out, calls it in, and the 3rd Division is en route to come take him out. So they panic, they freak out, they're trying to calm the old guy down, they're breaking the whole building. Well, Kafka is, and then they end up running, breaking the windows out and jumping out, and they're running away. As that's happening, and 3rd Division's in pursuit, another Kaiju shows up that we find out Kafka can sense and knows exactly what it is. It attacks a little girl who's trying to save her mom in rubble, and Kafka comes over and punches it, and then punches it even harder a second time and blows it up. So he's very strong. We get a scene where the little girl is afraid of Kafka, but recognizes that he's helping, but still his appearance is scary. He ends up leaving, and Third Division shows up. They're trying to figure out what the hell even happened here. How did this kaiju just get destroyed? Where'd the other kaiju go? And the little girl ends up telling them that there's a good kaiju. Hopefully they don't kill it. And they are now on the lookout for kaiju number 8, which is the name of the show. Perfect. And they have a very scary picture that they've drawn up of what they think he looks like. Jumping forward, Kafka and Tachikawa get past the first part of the examination of getting into the Defense Force. This is Kafka's final chance to do this, so he jumps at it. They go to the facility where they got to go through the exam, the second part, and while there, they run into seemingly other people who will be doing the exams. Well, seems like other main characters of the show, as they're in the intro and outro, or they're in the outro.
They're drawn like characters.
They're drawn like characters. They're very stylized, and they have a run-in with a girl in a power suit who can smell the kaiju on Kafka and one-handedly grabs Kafka's vehicle, lifts up and throws it. So we can tell she's really strong. Also, not the most friendly person, considering she calls Kafka old and throws his car because she wants to park where he's parked at in an empty parking lot. And yeah, we're kind of left off there. Was there something left out?
I think that was all the important beats.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 episodes in. I'm actually glad we didn't just watch the first one and wait a week for the second one, because the second episode, especially the way the first episode ended with him just being the monster, I'm glad we got to see where that went,
right.
Because I was like, that would be a horrible place to just leave off.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did we think?
I think the show did a good job at first impressions, for sure. Even the first episode, like, just immediately showing, a kaiju attacking a city, and the basically how far the show's willing to go, as it showed very quickly. It's very okay with being gory. So
gory and gross.
Yeah.
Because there's blood everywhere. We saw blood rain down twice. We saw intestines and what they got to do with that. And he also pissed out of his own chest.
Yeah.
So the show's definitely okay with being gross.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing when so many things are sterile these days anyway. So
Sure. I like to be shocked every once in a while.
yeah. I was taken a little aback by the beginning of it, and then again, when he fights fights a strong word in this case, but when he punches the kaiju, and we just get more, I was like, okay, they're just totally okay with it, which is fine. It actually kind of reminds me of old school anime in that way.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of felt like not quite One Punch Man, but kind of One Punch Man, because he just like decked that dude out, which of course is gonna be more powerful kaiju later, but like just as a way to showcase his power level and how much it's advanced, being able to just punch a dude once and it just exploding was
it's just a little more of a gross version for sure, because even in One Punch Man, when he hits the mosquito chick and she just blood stain on the side of a building all of a sudden. So sorry if you haven't seen that show.
That was vague enough.
Yeah. Other than that, the way they've presented basically his origin story, as we're getting, was fun. They did a really good job of just constantly making it humorous, while also still having serious beats. Also, the main female character, Mina, is very cool, which is nice to see. When they were talking about like who's gonna be the coolest, I was like, okay, so is she actually gonna be like a cool type, or are we gonna go for more like the archetypical, like, cutesy type, with her? And no, she's like the common cool type. So, which I like as well.
Mm-hmm.
I also like how efficient they seem to be when it comes to taking on kaiju. I'm curious, obviously, to see that expand and get more information on that, as that's where we're heading at this point, which is cool. I also assume at some point they're going to find him out. But these are all things, obviously, to look forward to going forward. Good first impression. The only other things I want to add is I think the music during the show is a lot of fun. It fits very well. It's got a nice upbeat, action show like vibe to it, which is really nice. The opening and ending are okay. I think the ending's a little better. I think it's a little more fitting as a whole, not just the song, but like the visuals with the song. I think are a better mix than the beginning. Mostly because the beginning feels like someone just got their hands on a 3D program and just started making a bunch of random stuff, and I just wasn't really super into it. So, but
Yeah, it looked like high budget, but it didn't have like the charm or flair to an intro to like an anime that you want.
yeah,
It was like a visualizer.
Yeah,
It was like a visualizer for Youngblood. It's like they're like, hey, we got a really popular dude right
Yeah.
now. We got a song by him. Let's just make like a cool music video for his song, basically. And
yeah.
as much as it's cool enough, it just lacks that charm.
Yeah, as an OP, I wasn't like super into it. The song was fine. I'm not like I don't love it or hate it. It's fine.
It is interesting though, since we're talking about it, how we got two Western songs in this show. We got Youngblood at the beginning, and then we got One Republic, which I haven't heard that name in fucking years.
Yeah,
That was just really weird. But I mean, it's cool. It's kind of cool to see them branch out to
Oh, for
other
sure.
places. I thought both songs were fine.
well, I'm sure it was fun for them to be able to like reach out and
Yeah.
like, contact people that aren't part of their culture. So
Especially like Youngblood's really popular right now. So I mean, that's kind of cool. They're able to get somebody who's like not One Republic from years ago, like something that's popular right now. So, but yeah, the intro, I agree. I like the visualization of it was like really. I felt like I was watching like a music video.
yeah, I'm not in love with it. The ED is definitely better in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a fun time. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. So
Yeah, it was weird because watching this, I was like, this is like more fun and playful solo leveling. And the reason I say that is because in solo leveling, it's like a dude who has, I don't want to go into too much details because you might have not watched this, the viewer, but it's a dude who has a power who is in a city where threats show up and he's got to take care of it. And I know it's kind of typical, but it kind of reminded me of that. It also kind of, I brought up Kashurin, but kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Also reminded me of Attack on Titan a little bit. Has all these like things that it reminds me of, and not to say that to take away from it. The thing I'm trying to get to is, but it has a more fun atmosphere to it, which I kind of liked. I went into this obviously because we had watched a trailer for it a while back, and I thought the animation looked good, the art style. I still think that, but I'm happy to say that after the first episode, like in 5-10 minutes into it, I was like, I already want to see the next episode. I'm already into this. The reason being is I like the art style. The main character's kind of goofy looking,
he's a goober.
but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Also, I almost instantly liked him as a character, which
True.
is cool. I also liked Tachikawa. When he showed up, I thought he was going to be like the quiet, annoying dude that's always in anime, but he's got more character to him than I was expecting. Even
Pretty quickly.
Even Kafka mentioned it. He's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to be way meaner than you are." And I was like, "Yeah, they're kind of surprising me with that as well." So I like their relationship already. It's only 2 episodes, so that's a good start. And then even Mina isn't like obnoxiously like quiet and badass. She seems, because of the flashbacks, dedicated to what her and Kafka said they wanted to do. There's stakes involved. They lost something. They're trying to, seems like, get revenge, destroy all the kaiju. So I kind of like the motivation. So they already got me there. I like the art style. I thought the animation was good.
Yeah, definitely.
I was surprised by that. I thought it was really high quality. There's some 3D stuff in there, but I thought it was blended well.
Yeah, definitely.
But some of the action sequences, specifically when Kafka was running from the kaiju, I thought was animated really well. Some good drama and suspense there, but a lot of really good humor as well. Way more humor than like the drama stuff, but the drama worked. The part with the little girl being afraid of Kafka, but then like wanting him to not get hurt, like had good emotional stakes to it, because like even though he was kind of scary, she recognized he's a good guy. Which is cool because, he's like confused as well. He's like, I don't know what the hell's going on with me. And it was really gross when he was running, and there was different things coming out of him, like the xenomorph mouth thing eating the bird, and they had to censor that, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, the show's got a really good mix in 2 episodes of like action, humor, drama. endearing characters already, which is that's how I felt about Demon Slayer when I first started watching it, and I didn't feel that way about Jujutsu Kaisen. So, just as a reference, and I like both of those. I like Demon Slayer and JJK, but
Just a first impression standpoint.
but when I went into Demon Slayer, I was like, okay, I already like these characters. They did a really good job with the instant. These characters are charming. JJK, you gotta invest the time to get the characters other than just looking at them going, these are cool people. This show's doing a good job on that. I also think the story is fun. It's simple enough, but has some fun layers going on with like, oh, how's that going to go? How's, what's going on with him being, Kaiju number 8 going to affect his ambition in life of wanting to do what he set out to do and failed one time and doesn't have time to fail again. And now he's got an edge because he's super powerful. But how do you keep that secret? And then what we saw with the, other characters that will be introduced likely in the next episode, will add like a fun factor to, what you expect from anime. Different characters, different powers, different personalities. You can already tell a lot just by the way they look. One dude had like the comb sides with like the thing. I can already kind of tell what he's going to be like. I'll be surprised if he's not, but we'll see. And then the more dedicated guy who's just jogging in place, like, he's just like going while they're waiting. So you kind of already can get some personality from these characters. But yeah, anyway, so far, first 2 episodes I actually really liked. We will be watching the 3rd episode. And if it's good, which I have a feeling it's going to be, because I liked these 2 episodes, we'll do another episode review. So unless you have any problems with that.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
I watch a ton every season. So
I don't know. Well, yeah, but for filming purposes, we could just watch the show and then do a season review. But I do feel like I want to watch, so far, unless it falls off, I do feel like I'm going to want to watch this weekly. So it's got a cool vibe to it. I'm liking it. So, and then that mixed with Delicious in Dungeon's got to be ending soon. Right? We're on like episode 17. It's
they're both in the same season at this point, so.
No, I know, but I'm talking about for our viewing. Delicious in Dungeon is going to end at like 20-something episodes, right?
Probably 24, yeah.
Yeah, so it's at 17, so it'll be ending soonish. Unless, this show's only like 5 episodes, which I doubt. So it'll become easier when Delicious in Dungeon ends and this is continuing, if that makes sense. And then Demon Slayer. So, yeah. Overall, I liked it though, and we'll keep watching it. Anything else you want to say? All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think of the first 2 episodes of Kaiju number 8. What are some things that you took from it that you really enjoyed? Maybe you got some criticisms. I'm open to that. And if there's anything you want to discuss from these episodes that we didn't cover in the short amount of time we talked about 2 episodes, let us know in the comments below. We are always open to the conversation. And stay tuned. We are going to watch Delicious in Dungeon episode 8 or 17. So that review will be up if you're watching that. And I also have a review for the Fallout show we did over on TLG. Link down below. We did a whole podcast as a part of that. It's a clip, but it's my thoughts on it. So if you're curious about what I thought of the Fallout show, look forward to that. But I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and we will see you on the next episode.